Great. Thank you so much, Jessica, and welcome everybody. Wonderful to have you all here today. Great to see so many familiar faces, Sean and May and Dale and Carol. Miller, Eileen, great to have you all here. I'm going to share today's warm-up in just a moment, but I just want to start with very briefly. I want this warm-up to be helpful for us for a couple of different things. First of all, it is a chance for us to warm up on our instruments together. I also know that many of you here are teachers, and so I'm sharing with you some of the warm-ups that have been working really well with my own students, and that might give you some ideas of things you can use as teachers. I also think sometimes it's nice to have a different set of warm-ups when you're working with a group of people than when you're working with individuals. So some of the warm-ups I have here are really meant for a whole group, and we kind of have that even though we can't hear each other. We are here as a group. So I'm going to briefly share the sheet, and Jessica just dropped it into the chat, so you can also download it. But we're going to start by just doing very briefly some body warm-ups. Following this clarinet warm-up, we have a whole half-hour stretch session, so I'm not going to do a lot with that. But I do want to just say that I think a lot of us play with excess tension, and that tension creates problems for us. And so the two areas that really where that shows up is we end up kind of biting with our jaw, and that causes squeaking and intonation problems and tone problems, and then our fingers kind of smack, smack, smack. So in my experience, if we can loosen up our upper body just a little bit before we play, it helps get our body conditioned to know that when we play clarinet, we want to be very free and very relaxed. And I think this is really important. And I've observed in myself as well, and a lot of students, most people just pick up their clarinet and play a few notes sort of mindlessly. And I want to encourage you to always get yourself in the right frame of mind and the right frame of body before you start playing, so it becomes habit to be ready to play with the best habits. So I find if my shoulders are really loose, it helps me loosen my jaw, because if I'm tense here, then my face likes to get tense. So just very, very briefly, I want to encourage you, just like roll your shoulders around, and when they come down, almost make them like flippy floppy, like you're just sort of you have no bones at all, and there's a breeze blowing, and maybe you're in a turbulent stream and it's just kind of flipping you around. And then roll your head a little bit. And when we pick up clarinets, I want you just to be in that state that when we do pick it up, we're going to let our shoulders down. And I'm going to remind you of that throughout our session today. The next thing though, so we have a whole bunch of body warm-ups coming, so that's my 1-minute version. The next thing I like to do is prepare my air a little bit before I blow into the clarinet. And this again goes along with this philosophy of kind of training my body and brain to be really mindful of what I'm about to do. And there are lots and lots of exercises we can do. One of the ones I love to do, and this works great if you're coaching a group of people, is to just hold my hand in front of my face. And I imagine I have a little circle in the palm of my hand. If you're Canadian, the size of a loonie, but most of you don't know what that is. So I want to say a small golf ball. And we want to blow really, really fast, cold air. And a couple things to think about. Most of the time, if we're doing classical clarinet, we want our tongue high in our mouth, like we're saying she. So as I'm blowing, I'm going to try and hiss the word she, and I'm going to blow really fast, loud air. So I'll demonstrate it, and then you guys do it with me. Now for this to work, you should hear your airstream really loudly. And I'm guessing you guys could hear me as I was doing that. We often blow with air that's just too slow. So instead of a, we want. Now we did she, which gives us a loud sound. Now try it with just he. And a little bit more air will come out of your body. Same warm up. So if you don't hear a loud sound, that's something that you can work on as you're working through it. All right, just want to explain the next thing that's on the sheet, even though I'm not putting it up yet. This is a little exercise that has us work both on inhaling and also blowing out. It's kind of mindfully for both, with this idea that we want to be really relaxed. When we inhale, we want to imagine that from our mouth, this is just an imagination game, all the way down to like our belly button is this big open tube, like a cavernous cave. And so when I inhale, I should almost hear the air echoing through this vast space. It's kind of like I want a really low, deep sound, similar to when we're inhaling for a yawn. So when we exhale, we want a loud hissing sound, very different sounds. Here's the inhalation. Here's the exhalation. And I practice those things just to make sure I have them. So what we're going to do, I'm going to set my metronome to, let's say, 80. So this will be relatively easy. And we're going to, first of all, inhale for 8 beats. And that's a long, long time to inhale. So just to pace it, what I want you to think about is being really relaxed. And by the time we get to about beat 6, feel like you're full. And for 7 and 8, you're just trying to see, almost as if we have an inner tube around our waist, is there any room to inflate a little bit bigger? Then we're going to blow out for 4 beats. So very simple. Let's do it. I'll let my metronome talk for 4 beats and then we'll inhale for 8.
1, 2,
so
3,
get ready.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Good. Now we're going to inhale for 4 beats and blow out for 4. So exact same idea. Here we go. After she counts to 4, we inhale for 4. Big, deep, cavernous
1,
breath.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Now we're going to inhale for 2 beats. So this whole thing happens faster. This is the point where people start to go tense their shoulders and kind of start to gasp for air a little bit. So we want to make sure our shoulders still relax so it's a fast one, but we still have that deep inhalation. So she's going to count to 2. On beats 3 and 4, we inhale.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
Good. And now we're going to breathe in 1 beat. She'll count 3 beats. On beat 4, we breathe in. This is all getting us to breathe big, deep breath quickly. So on beat 4, breathe in.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good. Sometimes you get dizzy blowing this out, but this is a good way just to kind of get our air moving before we start. So thank you for doing that with me. I'm now going to put some warm-ups on screen that we can do together. So sometimes it's nice to do a group warm-up. If I'd had a little more time, I would have pre-recorded all 3 parts, but this is a lovely group warm-up. The first line is probably the most challenging. The second line is a little bit easier, and the third line, being whole notes, is slightly easier. So what I want to encourage you to do is pick a line, and maybe I'll do this twice through. In fact, yeah, I'll do it twice. So the first time, I'm just going to play the bottom part. You pick whichever part looks good for you. There are some hairpin dynamics here. So our goal is to have relaxed shoulders and just be blowing as your air as smoothly as you can. Make the intervals as smoothly as you can. And we'll play it together. So I'll let her count to 4 beats and just nice air. If we could hear all of us, we'd hear beautiful 3-part harmony. If you play the first or second line, you get 2-part harmony.
1,
2,
2, 3,
ready,
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
Good. So the hardest line, being the top line, I really encourage you to crescendo a lot before you make that 2-octave leap. Top line's kind of an advanced warm-up, but this is a great one to do with a group of people and then switch parts. So let's have you try a different part and we'll do it one more time. Maybe I'll play the top line this time. Pick whichever line you like to go with it. So I'll let her give us 1 bar in.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
Good. So that one, as I say, especially effective with a group. All right, one more little warm up here, and I'm going to try and scroll the screen. Maybe I can make this fit on the screen. This is from the Classe book. The top line is just a C major scale and whole notes. So again, nice easy warm up, but he's crafted a beautiful duet part for it. So let's do this one twice through, and you can pick a different part each time, just for fun. So perhaps for starters, I'll play the duet part. And if you want to just play the C major scale, good chance just to work on your air, and then we'll flip parts. So I'm going to make it just slightly faster than what we were just doing. Okay, so here's 4 beats for nothing. Let's do this Classe duet together. I'll play the bottom line. I encourage you to play the top line.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Good. So very nice duet Classe crafted for us. If you want to switch parts, feel free. I'm going to play the long tone scale. You're welcome to stay with me on that or to flip parts yourself. So here we go, 4 beats in.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
So that's a lovely warm up to do with a friend or with a student. All right, I wanted to share a technique with you that's been working really well with me and my students. And unfortunately, I was having trouble getting my phone to hook up to my computer, so I can't do it hands-free, but I'm still going to share it with you. I really like the Tonal Energy TE Tuner app. It has a lot of functions on it, but what I have showing right now is what the middle button says, analysis mode. It's kind of like doing an EKG of my voice or my clarinet playing. And there's a type of warm-up that really helps people get their embouchure set and work on intonation and everything. Now I'm in a hot room, so I'm gonna just see if I'm basically in tune. Odds are as I'm warming up, I might be sharp. So I'm a little bit sharp. I'm gonna start by just kind of making sure I'm in tune. Okay, So here's the exercise. First of all, I'll describe it and then show you how analysis mode can be helpful. There's a lot of long tones which warm up our breath, where we want to go from soft to loud and back down. And typically as clarinetists, we will bite and squeeze. And we bite when it's soft, and that makes our pitch go sharp. And then when we get loud, our tongue drops and we go flat. So this would show us that. So here's what a typical note like that might look like. So what I love about this is if I just kind of look at that picture, it shows in the middle where I was in tune, and then I got really flat when I got louder, and then the pitch went back up when I came down. And our goal is to try and make an even little diamond and have the pitch actually stay in tune the whole time. And this teaches us a lot about our embouchure. So I'm going to try and get a better one. And that's the exercise, just going up and down. In the interest of time, if you have a tuner, I recommend you do that. I'm going to just move on because I wanted to show you that and encourage you to try it on a variety of notes. So I've written in some pitches there. The other pitch I just want to show you is this weird fingering at the end of the page. It's called the embouchure tester fingering, and we will try that together. This is thumb, register key, first two fingers on the left hand, we leave a finger blank, first two fingers on the next hand. It's actually a really volatile, not very nice fingering for high G sharp. But for a lot of people, this note doesn't work very easily. And I love to use it to diagnose what might not be working. If it squeaks, it means we're biting too much. If you get a growly undertone, your air is not fast enough. And so the super bonus for you advanced players is do that soft to loud to soft without changing pitch. If you can do that, you really have a solid embouchure, and any altissimo note, anything else is going to feel really easy for you to play. Okay. Boy, I was thinking I'd have trouble having half an hour warm-ups for us, but I'm having trouble getting through it. So I'm going to show you one more exercise today. The rest is just there. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, Michelle at clarinetmentors.com, and I'm happy to help you through some of the other things here. But this is another exercise. I'm going to turn it off the screen and just describe it. That can be really helpful. If you find your tongue doesn't move quickly enough, or it feels a bit hammery or accented, this is a fun exercise to help create different awareness for your tongue and make it work differently. So what we're going to do is just take an open G, so no fingers covering holes, and try playing it with our tongue lightly touching the tip of the reed. It's going to inhibit our tone a little bit. It's going to tickle our tongue, but just give it a try. So from there, we're going to lightly tongue quarter notes, and maybe I'll get the metronome on for this. So we're never going to have our tongue leave the reed, but you want to close the reed as gently as possible and have no accents. Sometimes we close it gently, and then our tongue will rebound off there with great force. We should just have the most minimal force possible.
2, 3,
so here's my tongue
4.
doing that.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
I've practiced this. It takes a little getting used to. So if this is new to you, hang out with that a bit. The next step is we do lift our tongue off the reed as minimally as possible, and then alternate off the reed, closing the reed, staying on the reed as we sort of half lift off, close the reed. So it's like I'm doing this. Alternating between half on the reed, half on. Try a few with me.
1, 2,
So I'm going to start with it on the reed.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
We do this to start showing our tongue that the movement we need to actually lift off the reed and come back is incredibly small. and that we can do it really gently. From there, we might just stay on one note and try crescendoing. Here's what our tongue likes to do when we get louder. You know, it's instinctive that it likes to hammer. So I want you just to do some notes with me. Let's go really loud, then we'll come back down. And your goal is keep your tongue just as gentle, even as your air gets louder.
1,
Here we go.
2, 3,
And
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
And the bonus is do that with your TE tuner in analysis mode. See what your pitch is doing. If it goes flat when you get louder, then you practice keeping the back of your tongue high. But all of those are great warm-ups for you. So I hope you might have picked up a couple of new things that you can work on here. There's so much we can do, but these are things that have really helped me and my students. And wonderful to have you all here. I think I want to turn it back to Jessica. Thank you, Jessica. And I'm really looking forward to some of the other events. I'll be in and out throughout the day.